Hello, welcome back to Ratropolis. Scientist, baby, let's hit it. Hell yeah. How exciting is this? This average amount of excitement. So that was a little over the top. Let me... Alright, it's time to play the scientist. There we go. That's more correct. How you doing today? What's going on? Sunday? Monday for yourself? Cleaning the olive oil off my keyboard. I made pasta with garlic and oil. Every time I make this pasta, I end up with a keyboard covered in oil. It is, you may be like, oh, well, don't eat at your desk. To which I reply, you don't own me. I'm actually thinking, I got a relatively... I'm just gonna cancel that. Got a relatively good payout from Twitch this month. And I've been thinking I'm going to make some upgrades to my setup. Thinking about maybe finally retiring the 2004 keyboard. I looked it up. If you want to look up the keyboard I have, if you're interested, because it has been a topic very often. If you're interested in this keyboard, I finally found it. You can search it on Amazon or search it on Google, and it'll be the first result on Amazon. It's a Systemax KB9885. This bad boy is old. Is very old. The keyboard that's on there isn't the exact keyboard, but it's very similar to the keyboard that I currently have, and my man is old. I like this keyboard. I have not been using it for as long, since 2004. It was my parents' keyboard that they had on the computer that we got when we moved here in 2006. I'm gonna grab the wall. I might try just buying preserve. I think it is valuable enough. But yeah, they got it. It came with the computer they got back when we moved here. That keyboard, that computer was sold that it ran Windows Vista, if you're wondering what kind of keyboard or what kind of computer we're talking about here. I think it still does actually have Vista on it. But they retired that computer. They've moved on to just some Dell laptop. And take two houses here. When the keyboard that came with my computer, which was just a standard, I think it was a Rosewell, I think was the brand. It just came with the computer that I got when I picked it up. When that thing got broken somehow. I don't really know exactly what happened. I woke up one day and it was just hitting me. I would press any key and it would just hit me with what was it, CMR or something like that every time I would press a key. I would finish typing a sentence and it would just append CMR to the end, and a bunch of things weren't working properly, etc., etc. It was whack. It was broken. And that keyboard died and went away. I didn't have a keyboard from my computer before this one because I had a laptop before I had this computer. And I was like, well, there's only one thing to do. And I just went and grabbed my parents' old keyboard, and now we're here. The Systemax KB9885. It lasts a lot longer than the shitty mechanical keyboard that came with my my PC. However, it may be time to retire this bad boy, put it off to the side, come back later. Perhaps. I wouldn't get rid of it because this thing's a solid backup. For sure, but, might be time to say goodbye. Go ahead and power our economy up now that we have this preserve in play. Can I preserve here? Nah. If I could, I would actually preserve there. Probably a good idea to throw this mutant out as well. I like just leaving the lab rat frozen and letting the guards handle everything. Take the removal. Honestly feel like with one cheese frozen, this is a hard one to suss out here. Maybe I should just clear preserve now that I've frozen the cheese. Its work here is done. I think I will, actually. Your job here is done. Goodbye, preserve. Thank you for your service. Ah, hello, preserve. I would like this card. Now, I'm wondering if it's maybe right to just remove waste. I'm gonna remove cheese, but I wonder about waste. Or maybe Potter. So Potter's 60. I've done this math, rough math. Potter's 60, waste is 60 with the downside. Oh wait, so waste is just worse than Potter right now. The question is, so Potter always stays, because this is 60. The question becomes, is it ever right to remove cheese instead? In a 5-card draw, I'm going to be drawing 2 cheeses, which means I'll be playing them for 80 gold, and I'll be gaining 150, so they're worth 70 gold, I think. I think it is better to waste removal, and then we'll end up getting rid of the cheeses eventually. But for now, I think this is right. But yeah, I've been thinking about picking up a new keyboard, also a new mouse, because I have the mouse that came with this computer as well. I did have a different mouse before, because of course you can't just like use the same like you can't I'm not playing video games with a trackpad on that old laptop. But I am thinking about maybe picking up. I'm probably gonna just get a replacement for the mouse I used to have, which was a Corsair RGB. If you have any hot takes on what's good and what's bad in terms of peripherals, please feel free to let me know. If you have any like, oh, don't go Corsair. I had great experiences with the Corsair mouse that I had. However, like keyboards are where I'm really uncertain. I don't really have any sort of frame of reference on a keyboard because I've never really had to have a keyboard. My takes on... Do I remove cheese now? One sec. What was the other option here? Money? I think I will remove cheese now. Our income just has to support playing our cards. We're not going to pay to redraw anymore. If I remove a cheese, I guess I can grab greed here. That's okay. But yeah, my mouse hot takes are I had a Razer Naga at one point, and that thing was very bad. Mouse was extreme garbage. It wasn't bad. It just died on me within a very short amount of time, and I was not happy about it. It just randomly it stopped working on me, and it kept disconnecting. It was unfortunate. But I would not go for another Razer Naga. And 2. That's solid. Go right here. You got for me a card upgrade. I've been really digging the upgrade guards line here. I gotta say. But yeah, Razer Naga was not a big fan. Razer, sorry, but you cannot sponsor me. Keyboards, I don't know though. Like that's where I really have no idea. So I'm open to your keyboard hot takes. Who's good, who's bad, etc, etc. And then I'm also thinking about finally picking up a mic stand and... what else was I thinking? Oh, I need to grab a new headphone cord as well, just for when this one dies on me, because we all know it will. Well, maybe you guys don't know, but I know it will. I should micro these guards back. It's too late. I really should have, but, you know, dude had a lot of health. My man's been chilling over there. Oh, 3 Ratrons. Like Ratron, I think, is not bad. I'm gonna grab the house, though. If we could find... I'll breathe here. If we could find a... healing potion? I think the healing potion's really strong for these units that you stack up health on like this as well. Or in particular, I suppose. How I would prefer to say it. Okay. But yeah, other than that, you know the deal. Not much happening with me. Figure, it's been a while since I've done any actual upgrades. I think the last thing I picked up was the... What was the last thing I picked up? Might be the... No, it's the mic. I picked up a Blue Yeti once I got a payout. So I was like, yeah, the snowball's cool and all, but if I'm actually going to be creating content, I should probably just upgrade to a Yeti. And the big thing about the Yeti is that it has the adjustable gain. If you've been watching for a long time, in the early days, and this isn't even in the early days of YouTube, I always had a Blue Yeti. In the early days of streaming, it was very hard to hear me because my snowball did not have volume controls and even capped out in the... capped out all of my volume settings everywhere I could, and I was still too quiet for people to hear. I think if you want to hear what it is like, you can go check out the Octopath VODs. That's where you can definitely hear how it was. those are on the channel somewhere. I don't know if you can search the channel itself, but you can find the old Octopath VODs, and in those I was very quiet. Like, you gotta crank me all the way up. But it's better now. I think you can hear me reasonably well at this point. I'm relatively loud in comparison to what I once was. I also might have just not been speaking very loud back then. I don't know. I think the content creation has been a journey. I talked about it a lot in the early game of in the early game of YouTube, where this is going to be like a journey to me becoming a better creator as a whole. You're going to get to watch these and see hopefully see an upward trend in my commentary, in my overall demeanor, and just in the quality as a whole, right? If you have been watching for a long time, I hope you have seen that. Or maybe it's just been nothing but continuous downturns and you hate this. In which case, honestly, same. Commander's pretty solid here. I am just a big fan of Commander now. Poison Fog? I wonder if Poison Fog is winning. Do you think this wins the game? I think it might. I'm just gonna step back for the barrel boys. Now the big downside is I can't play Mutant right now because I'll lose my freeze on it and then my hand gets all weird, but the upside, is there an upside? I don't know. I think the upside is that we're probably just winning off of Poison Fog. I think that Taint is an extremely powerful mechanic. Oh yeah, we won the game. Cool. I should also grab this wall. Excellent. We won. It means that I got 20 minutes to talk about whatever I want to talk about. Now you're trapped here with me. What do you want to talk about today? That's a great question. I actually don't really have anything super in mind. Content creation journey, etc., you know the deal there. I think the content has been getting better over time, and the viewership has increased as a result. Oh, Poison Fog doesn't give them... It's only units in their range. Interesting, okay. Are we going to be playing Plague Doctors out here instead of guards from here on? I want to get to like 15 guards, I think, but, you know, doesn't matter too much. Yeah, probably just like 15-5 and then whatever. This is going to be our initial baseline here. But I'm pretty sure we win this. Oh, you know what's coming out soon that I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing it or not? Nice, Plague Doctor upgrade. Very cool. I would say there's a high likelihood that I will be, but Rogue Legacy 2 is coming out soon. I am in the middle of playing through Sekiro, and I do not have plans to pause the playthrough for Rogue Legacy 2. However, with that being said, dude, I am pretty excited for Rogue Legacy 2. I did play a decent amount of Rogue Legacy 1 when it was released, and I liked it quite a bit. So what we're gonna need here is we're gonna need money. Our income's a little messy. I think at this point I'm pretty confident in removing Poison Fog because we got Plague Doctor. Sweet. Alright, I think we're good here. But yeah, Rogue Legacy 2 is coming out. I'm probably going to stream it at least once I finish Sekiro. And if I really enjoy the game, I might do a YouTube series on it. It's kind of weird to jump into a YouTube series for a game like that I've already played on stream and I'm already relatively good at, right? Like Monster Train, I actually did the YouTube series first, and that felt pretty solid to me. This game I jumped in and you didn't get the learn alongside me experience, however, you know. Just, you know, it's okay. I'm okay with either way. It's just kind of weird to jump into the game with the knowledge already flowing through me. Yeah, this is good. Thanks, Greed. I find it kind of strange anyway. So I don't really know. Maybe I should just do a YouTube series on it, and then we can do a YouTube series, and then I'll just play it on stream after I finish Sekiro. But I have also been talking a lot about doing Magic with Cranberry and having him teach me the game. And I may... Like, I was pretty interested in doing that, but I'm also interested in Rogue Legacy, and I'm interested in doing Hades when Hades gives me the final update. An apartment. Don't buy walls, because I am at the edges here, and I don't want to expand any further. Here come the barrels. This map did get significantly easier with the ability to just leave this wall open, right? I think so, anyway. Yeah, we just melt through these enemies. We play this apartment and things start to get really rough. For them. It would be very painful. For you. You guys like Batman? Me neither. I have seen the Batman with Bane, believe it or not. I have seen the scene where he goes, "It would be very painful for you. What happens if I remove the mask, etc., etc." Really good movie. No, I mean, I'd probably say that about most of the movies I watch, though. Honestly, have I watched a movie where I didn't walk away and go, "Man, that was really good," even if it was awful? Come to think of it, maybe not. Maybe, no, there is one. I can think of at least one movie that I walked away from and did not say, "Man, that was really good," and it was the Warcraft movie, where I walked out of the theater and I went, by the way, last movie I saw in theaters, the Warcraft movie, I walked out of the theater and I went, "Yeah." And I looked at my friends and I went, "Yeah, we definitely watched that. That was a movie." And they went, "Yep, it certainly was something." And we went over to my other friend's house who didn't come with us, and he went, "How was the movie?" And we went, "Yeah, it was. In fact, it was a movie. If you can believe it." It was okay, right? Like I said, it was... Yeah, I'm not surprised that they didn't get to make another one, because the movie was nothing special, but I didn't think it was bad. And it was just fine. As someone who plays a lot of WoW, or had played a lot of WoW, was playing a lot of WoW at the time that movie came out, I was reasonably excited for it. One of my friends was super into the lore of WoW, and we were like, "Yeah, we should go see that together." And we did, in fact, go see it together. And I think that making a movie encompassing the lore of World of Warcraft and Warcraft as a whole, a game series that has been going on since the 90s with expansions, like with installments and new lore expanding and happening every expansion every couple of years, right? At least if you want to look at it, even just through the stuff that's only Warcraft and not into the World of Warcraft stuff, right? Like not the World of Warcraft specific stuff. I'm pretty sure that after Wrath is where you stop getting into content that was in Warcraft 3. And like as an extension, Warcraft and Warcraft 2, but I don't actually know what happens in Warcraft and Warcraft 2, honestly, because I haven't played them. And I never really cared enough to look into it, but I know that like there's Arthas and the Frozen Throne and all of that, and that gets wrapped up in the Wrath of the Lich King. But if you want to look at it from that perspective, right, even just that stuff, if that's all you consider canon in the lore or whatever, you still got to wrap up like probably about how long? I think Wrath came out in like 2009 is gonna be my guess. I think it's like 2009, and then 2011 was Kata. I think 2013 for Mop, 2015 for Warlords, and then I think 2017 was Legion. 2017 was definitely Legion, and then BFA was... That doesn't seem right. Was it end of 2016? It might be off by a year, but something like that, right? Roughly every 2 years they put out an expansion. And it was like 2000, so it's probably like 2004, 2006, 2008, or like 2004, 2007, 2009, something like that. It's probably not perfectly every 2 years. You can just look it up and go, "Man, what's this idiot talking about," right? I know the answer. It's obvious, and I'll go, "Yeah, you're right." But however you look at it, right? There's probably somewhere in the range of like 10 years of world building and storytelling to try and cram into, like 10 years spanning, like, depending on how you look at it, if you look at each expansion as its own game, something like 5-6 games, and they're trying to cover all of the lore and baseline building in 2 hours. Yeah, good luck. Right? So I didn't have high expectations, is what I was eventually going to get around to saying there. And I was just fine with it. I think that they mostly covered stuff that happens not in Warcraft 3, but it's like Like the parts where what even happens in the Warcraft movie? Garona, Hellscream. Yeah, spoilers for the Warcraft movie, by the way. But like, if you also spoilers for Warcraft 2, I think it is called following. It's like Garona assassinates King Lane and the friendship between them, and I think Medivh is still alive, so it can't be Warcraft 3. I'm pretty sure Medivh is dead by Warcraft 3. But actually, come to think of it, I have no idea. But Medivh's like, it's the whole Medivh and King Lane, and it's like the king before Varian. I'm pretty sure you see Varian as a kid, and then you also have Duratan. Oh yeah, this right. This is the movie. Yeah, I think this is Warcraft 2. It might be Warcraft 1. I actually don't know what happens in either of them, but it's the one where they go Gul'dan cheats Smork, and I liked that one a lot because you got to see that a lot of places online. Anyway, I could talk forever about Warcraft lore, and at the end of it, I'd have to end it with, and also I have no idea what I'm talking about because I haven't played WoW in a very long time. I was never one to get super into the lore. Like, I get a little into the lore, right? I like to know what's going on in the quests that I'm doing in the game and things like that, and I played through Warcraft 3 and all of that stuff, but ultimately at the end of the day I kind of move on from the lore. I don't get super into it. I think that some of the things are pretty cool. But mostly when it comes to lore, I just enjoy like the aesthetic of a place, right? So like an aesthetic that really calls to me is going to attract me more than like deep lore and things like that. What are the aesthetics that call to me in that game, you may ask? I gotta tell you, I love I really like just not unbelievable odds, but like bleak outlook odds, right? So like basically just like the part where you invade Icecrown and the section where you like Eastern Plaguelands and Western Plaguelands are also really good. I don't want any of these. I'm just gonna pass. But yeah, Eastern and Western Plagueland stuff where you're just like trying to overcome an unbelievable force. However, there's definitely a too far where your world-ending force just gets to be like, okay, all right, I don't care anymore. I always go for the trick card because it's really fun. I'll take the random economy advisor though. Quartermaster, sure. But yeah, enough talking about Warcraft 4. It's just I get into it and I just go basically. I don't have it's not like I have anything else to talk about either. I don't remember how I got on this line. I was talking about movies, something like that. Another good movie I of course watched, and by good I mean horrible, was you remember Dragon Ball Evolution, dude. What an incredibly bad, great movie. In terms of things I've seen that are unbelievable in media to me, I gotta say, like special effects be damned, I could not believe that they actually had Goku Kamehameha someone back to life. I don't really know what else to say. If you're a Dragon Ball Z fan, you probably... I can't imagine being a fan of Dragon Ball Z and you're like, oh man, it's finally getting a live-action adaptation. This movie came out before we knew that all live-action adaptations are god-awful. Butterfly season. And you're like, oh boy, my favorite anime is finally getting adapted to the big screen. And you watch that, and you watch Goku Kamehameha someone back to life. And the only reason he masters the power that he's trying to master is because he's horny. And you just go, what happened here? What did they do to my boy? Goku, this isn't you. But as someone who has a passing enjoyment of Dragon Ball Z, I watched like the first 3 arcs of Dragon Ball Z. I watched through the Frieza saga, and then in the non-abridged version, which is not Dragon Ball Z Kai, but the actual Dragon Ball Z anime, the return after Frieza, is where they stopped doing the remastered voiceovers, and Vegeta, who is my favorite character, went from being like a really cool, powerful Saiyan prince to just like he literally tells Yamcha to eat it, nerd, which I did not like. I don't think he might not have said nerd, he might have said a loser, but regardless, he said something dumb as hell, and I went, I can't watch this. What'd they do to my boy? Like, a lot of the voices just became really bad, so I just stopped watching it. And I tried to go watch Dragon Ball Z Kai, which is the, like, abridged version. It cuts out all the filler episodes, but, you know, it's not that I missed the filler episodes by any means. There was that weird set of fillers where... Oh, whoops. Doesn't matter. There was that weird set of fillers where Krillin gets a girlfriend and over the course of a week, like, asks her to marry him in some... Like, I remember that filler very vividly because it was one of the last ones. And at the end of that filler, I went, what was the purpose of these last 3 episodes? Or, like, the filler set where the weird zombie gas takes over the world. Right? There's just a lot of weird shit that happens in that series. And Kai cuts that out, and I don't mind that, but I really hated all of the voice work in Dragon Ball Z Kai as well, because, like, Gohan sounded really weird, and then I was just like, alright, I'm out. I just went to watch something else, and by watch something else, I meant I just started watching, like... I just watched YouTube videos at this point. I've talked a little bit, I've been watching found flicks, I've been watching a bunch of horror movie summaries. They're pretty fun. Pretty cool, right? I talked about found flicks, I talked about Nerd Explains as well. I like Nerd Explains a little more because at the end of the video he does a little like, here's how I would defeat this movie. And having him go through like how he would actually win in this horror movie scenario I find really interesting. I was thinking about that today because I was like, I'm enjoying these found flicks, but I feel like it's missing something, right? I watched the videos on Grave Encounters 1 and Grave Encounters 2, and I was like, it's interesting, but I wonder, like, I'd love to see a Nerd Explains video on this where at the end he then goes, and here's how I would have beaten this weird insane asylum. And then he just talks about how he would, like, I don't know, probably burn the asylum to the ground, to which I would go, haha, yeah, me too. It's an interesting series, though. I would recommend it if you like, if you're like me, because there's 2 things, right? A, I don't like horror very much. I enjoy, like, I enjoy the plots, I guess, but I don't really actually enjoy watching people get ripped to shreds. And also I don't want to spend like an hour and a half and then at the end go, man, that did not feel like it was worth my time at all. So this is a way to watch a horror movie in 20 minutes without having to see all the parts where people get torn up, basically. So it's pretty good though, I like it. And also there's a new Swampletics that I should be watching right now, however I have not gotten around to it. Because I had to record. It's a little later in the day. Hey, there's enemies jumping the walls here. Might not be a bad idea to get a mutant down, but also, I don't think I care. It's a little later in the day. Oh, that's right. I spent the like first hour of my day where I would normally be recording. I just replied to a bunch of YouTube comments. Caught myself up a little bit. Again, I have to mention that if you leave me a reply to one of my comments, I just usually do not see it because YouTube has no way of notifying. Like if I reply to you and then you reply back, I probably will not see your reply back. I am sorry about this, however, there is basically nothing I can do outside. Like what I can do is I can like manually just watch every single video and check it every day. But the way that YouTube sorts it is very interesting. They initially it auto sorts out any what it does is without changing the filters, right? If I just go to look at comments, it just shows me comments I haven't replied to. And at this point, I'm also getting so many comments on these videos that the notifications don't show me everything. Because it used to be I would get like 1 or 2 notifications in the morning, which I would then I would just go read the comments in the notifications for the video, and I would reply to them. And those were when it was a lot simpler. I could just like, if I got a reply to one of my comments, I usually got a notification saying, hey, someone replied to your comment. Now it is a little more involved, we can say, is one way to put it. It's really strange, I gotta say. The YouTube comment system, YouTube as a whole, from the creator perspective, now that I have been creating for a while, it's a very strange platform, I think. There's a lot of little things that seem like they should be obvious to me, like comments that I haven't replied to. If you reply to a comment that I replied to you on, oh, right. I accidentally went on a new role, of course. I don't really care. But yeah, if you leave me a comment, basically YouTube does not let me know if you reply to a comment of me replying to you. Very strange, I would say. But it is what it is. I also don't know if I can actually reply to a specific person. So if it's like you leave a comment that someone else replies to that asking a follow-up question, I'm pretty sure that if I leave a reply, it just replies as a whole to the comment thread. You guys just gonna just let him eat the wall, huh? Not gonna stop him? Alright. Gotta put a lab rat down so we don't die to crabs. But yeah, I do my best. I every now and then it will give me a notification for the replies, and I'll see it and be like, hey, I can answer your follow-up question. However, for the most part it doesn't, and I am sorry about that. I should mention that in Monster Train as well, because I do my best to keep my replies flowing. However, it's not easy. YouTube doesn't necessarily make it easy. It's not hard by any means. I'm not like, oh man, woe is me, it's so difficult. It's fine. If I fall a little behind on YouTube comments, I don't think anyone gets too upset. But I do try my best to keep up. I'm hopefully going to catch up and then keep up and just spend like 20 minutes a day reading and replying to all the comments. That's going to be my long term here, once I catch myself up. However, I don't know, I have to be in the right mindset to read and reply to comments. It's not hard, mind you. It's not like a labor where I'm like, oh no, gotta read YouTube comments. Oh boy. Like I said, all the comments I get are pretty kind or constructive. And basically, I've been thinking about this one a little bit as well, and this is one that's probably something I'm just going to get into more on stream because our time is up. But I've been thinking about when someone leaves me a comment that has some sort of a negative connotation, how I reply. Or like a criticism of like, hey, you could have played this better. And typically I find that I just reply by saying, yeah, probably. Right, I don't get too into it. And maybe I should get a little more into it, I don't know. That's what I've been thinking about. It's a thought that I probably want to explore a little more, but I'm going to explore probably on stream because we have about like 20 seconds until this episode's over. Well, 20 seconds until this combat's over, and then I give you the outro, so probably like another 40 seconds in this episode. Probably going to be done in about... I don't know, this combat's about to be over right now. Yeah. And then I press withdraw, and then I say to you, hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to drop me that like. Subscribe if you want to see more. I will see you in the next one. Have a good one.